Ba-ba-ba-boo, boo, boo, ba-ba-boo. Alrighty, I am here. I am here. If anyone wants a link to the video in question, if you wanted to follow along with me, I might want to make it a bit smaller. I could have it right up in the corner. So that it is covering the thing a bit. The difficulty of doing this. I mean, I could have it here, or I could potentially, I suppose I could have it up here. I could have it here. This might be better. Come on, let me just get it exact. Yeah. Maybe even just down a little bit so it's not hiding that. And for this stream, if I grab my logo and just move you over here for today, I think that might work. And yeah, we'll have it all the way up actually. Yeah, you don't really need to see this side of the controls. All right, that works. I can actually open this all the way up then. Okay, this is going to be an adventure. I will be trying to use the brushes I already have on Sai for this. The ones that I have Flatter, which kind of looks like this. I have Clouds, quite similar. I have Gravel, bigger. Probably going to want to use quite a large brush for these. Probably Bushes. Bushes is quite a nice one. That's my other gravel. So I've got like this rough gravel and I've got like a smooth gravel one. The water one, which is very, very faint. I think that's it. There's water. What is this one? Apparently this one is watermelon. I don't know why. Or maybe it's kind of like a watermelon texture. But that's kind of like a much, much stiffer gravel. You have some floating text on your scene in the way. Oh God. It's going to be VTuber Plus. I haven't toggled UI. There we go. All right. Let's get on. We're here with Bob Ross. And we're going to be painting together. Feel free to draw along if you want to. I will be pausing between segments while I work out how I'm doing it in my style.
And I'd like to welcome you to the 24th Joy of Painting series. If this is your first time with us, please allow me to extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your brushes and some paints and paint along with us each show.
I've got my
sinus. If you've been with us
sinus.
before, allow me to thank you for inviting us back for another series of painting shows. Tell you what, let's get started today and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us at home. And while
I
they're
have
doing
all
that,
the colors I need
here.
On my
I have
wheel.
a standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas, but you use any sizes you want. This is a pre-stretched double prime canvas. Then I've covered the entire canvas with just a very thin, even coat of liquid white. Now liquid white is an oil-based paint that allows us to actually blend color up here on the canvas rather than working ourselves to death on the palette. Just makes painting easy. So it's a fantastic day here. I thought we'd just do a very warm little scene that Makes you feel good in here. So let's start out with the old 2-inch brush, with a little tiny one. Take a little bit of the Indian yellow, just a very small amount.
Okay, so we're going to need Indian yellow. So I'm going to go over to here. Kind of looks like this. Kind of this color. I think that's probably well. I never paid this much attention to Bob Ross's voice before. I've never watched any of his videos. Not gonna lie, I just know the memes. I just know the memes.
Amount on the 2-inch brush. Load a little color on the brush. Let's go right up here. Maybe we'll have a beautiful little sky that's just full of warm colors that, as I say, sort of makes you feel good when you look at it. So you're making little...
Okay, so it's wobbling around like that. I'm going to go with my water. My water brush. I think that's going to be best for this.
Oh, new friend!
Hi, Nara.
He's my friend! Oh, friend!
Oh my god, did we not get a podium already? Oh, we do now. Thank you for today's podium. We have Queenie in first, Taser in second, and Nara in third. You love to see it. Thank you for being the first 3 people officially into stream. So yeah, if you want to draw along, feel free to. I'm going to be doing this all digitally, and we'll see how it turns out.
X's, little crisscross strokes.
I might go a little bit more yellow.
Like so. Just about like so. Maybe we'll have a little water in here. I love water. I think it's so gorgeous. And it's very easy to paint in this technique. And we'll reflect a little of that color right down into the water. And then, I'll tell you what, without cleaning the brush, let's just go into a little bit of the yellow ochre. Once again, we do not need a great deal of paint here, just a little paint.
Hold on. I need to just kind of even this out a bit. Because you got a slight bit of a gap there. Use my blend on that a bit. Gonna work away at this. Alright, what colour did he grab? It went for more of a...
We do not need a great deal of paint.
Slight bit of brown, so slightly more towards here.
Here, just a little paint. Go right above the yellow. Still making our little crisscross strokes, our little X's. And just like that, we'll lay in a little bit of the yellow ochre. There, yellow ochre is sort of a nice gold color. It's beautiful. Beautiful little color. And we'll reflect a little of that into our water. There.
The water.
Time to get crazy. Time to get crazy. Let's go right into the bright red. And still, we haven't washed the brush. Just a little
bright
bit of bright
red.
And right up here.
Bright red.
Making our little X's, little crisscross strokes.
Okay, I might want to go for the maybe brush for this. So he's doing kind of like little like this. I think that looks kind of brown though. I might need to go even brighter red. Darker.
We'll add a little bit of that. And red's such a warm color. It just makes you feel good when you...
Okay. And then and then I'm going to go back to water and just kind of smush that all out. A bit like that. It's a happy little brush, yeah.
Look at it. Makes you happy. You almost can't help it. Just sort of warms up your whole day. But too much of it will set your world on fire. So all we want is just a nice pinkish, reddish glow up here in the sky. That's all we're looking for today.
Mine kind of looks like a muddy mess at the moment.
We'll just add a little of that down here too.
In
the water, we're just going to reflect the same basic colors that we have in our sky. Something about like that. There.
Okay.
Now then. Still haven't washed the brush. I look for...
I haven't washed my brush either.
And
that'd be a really bad idea.
It's laziness. There. We'll take a little bit of the phthalo blue and alizarin crimson, mix them together, right on the brush.
I can't do that.
And with that color, it's sort of a lavender color, we'll just fill in the top of the sky. Phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. And you can take this to the blue side or the red side. Just sort of depends on your mood and how you feel. It's strictly and completely up to you. Maybe I tell you what, look here. Add a little bit more color to my brush. Maybe in our world there lives, yep, you're right, just a happy little cloud up here. We can...
Okay, for me to do that, oh boy. I think I'm gonna go for my actual cloud brush for this. Moddy little messes are fairly common when trying to follow Bob Ross digitally. Yeah. So I'm gonna smush this in here.
We can make the indication of a little cloud just by tapping. There he is.
I can't do that. I can't do the tapping.
Little cloud, oh, big cloud.
Okay.
So you
big
can just
cloud.
let it go. Let your imagination take you wherever you want to go.
I'm
But all
trying.
we're doing is just tapping in some basic little shapes here.
I'm tapping little basic
We don't want them
shapes.
left out.
Okay.
Something like that.
Here. Okay.
Now then, while we have that lavender color on the brush, the blue and the crimson, we'll just come down here and fill in the whole bottom of this. Once again, all we're doing here is just reflecting the colors from the sky into the water. There we are. Now then, let's take and wash the old brush. We wash our brushes with odorless paint thinner, and I really suggest that you use odorless thinner, or you'll become very unpopular around the home front. There's a screen down here in the bottom of the bucket that I scrubbed the brush against, and we'll shake it
Oh, here he
off.
goes.
And just beat the devil out. That really
Beat the devil out of it!
Technique. Just clean the brush. Now, very
Okay.
lightly. 3 hairs.
I'm gonna
and some
go with the
air.
blend. I'm gonna pop it all
We'll
up.
just go right over those. Just blend them. And it'll make instant clouds.
Go
And the more
really,
you blend
really
them,
soft on
the
this.
softer they'll become. And you can continue to blend them till they absolutely just disappear. It's up to you. Up to you.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
Maybe today in
Kaiser.
this little painting, let's build us a little mountain. For that, we'll use some black little pressure.
Hold on.
Why is the underscore giving me fuck me eyes?
Oh no.
Running out of cinnamon.
Oh no. Why is the running out of cinnamon giving me fuck me eyes? What? Huh? Okay.
Blue, alizarin crimson, maybe some Van Dyke.
All
So
right.
we have black, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, little Van Dyke brown. Pull the paint out as flat as you can get it. Really get tough with it. Cut across.
This is like-
Get our little roll of paint. Lives right on the edge of the knife.
Okay, what
Now
are we
you have
doing
to
here?
make your first major decision. Where does your mountain live? Maybe in our world.
We're making a mountain. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Ooh, this is gonna be the hard bit. I don't really have a brush which can do that because I've got this. Not the stiff brush. Ooh. Can I change the shape of this? Middle flat? Hold on, if I make that really big. Do it taking some of that texture out of it. Where's the settings? I haven't got texture in there. What about fine flat? I've still got that texture in there. How do I get that texture out? There isn't texture here. Distance. Not that. How do I get that shape out of it? Oversized calligraphy brush might do it. I'm not sure we've got calligraphy on here. Rough vertical. No. Uneven SR. What does that do? No. Hollow. E. Round. No. Rough flat. I kind of feel middle flat is kind of getting there. Ah, there we go. Let's increase this bit. Bit of more persistence, bit more dilution, I think. Get in there. We're making a brush as we go. I think I quite like that. Okay. So let's watch what he's doing there. I need to see.
Our mountain lives right there. With a very firm pressure, just literally push the paint right into the fabric. Right into the fabric. This is a chance to really get tough.
Okay. So let's try. I'm going to zoom in. It's about here, isn't it? Okay. I think I need to make a bit of a smaller brush. Okay, I kind of like this. Got very much jaggedness to it. I think I can work with this. All right.
Take out all your frustrations and hostilities and whatever. Maybe there's another little peak right there. Wherever you want them. Wherever you want them. This technique is so fantastic because it allows you individuality. We use no patterns, no tracings. And we just want to show you a technique and turn you loose on the world. Because the canvas is wet, you can move this paint. You can pull it. It'll slide right on top of that.
I'm going to use a little bit of blend.
Just like so.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to use the blend tool. We're going to pull it like that. Maybe use my blend brush a bit. Pull this out a bit further. Gives a bit more to work with here. Really go to town.
Lizard.
Lizard. Need a happy little lizard. I might add a little happy lizard at the end. Sure. There we go. Kind of like that.
Now, if we had a dry canvas, at this point you'd be in an agony city, because the paint will not move like it does on this wet surface. And that's what the liquid white does. It allows us to actually blend color right up here. Blend color. And it's also an excellent way here of laying out your whole mountain. By pulling it in the direction like this, downward, you can begin laying out all different ideas for highlights and shadows in your mountain without being committed. There we go. Now then, let's put a little highlight on that mountain. Today, let's take titanium white and reach up here and
that's the best I can do.
Black on a grayish color. So just black and white, like that. There, it just makes it a little, but I want to leave it sort of marble, so there's a lot of things happening in there. Pull the paint out.
Okay.
And once again, our little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife.
We want a little bit of white.
Touch, no pressure. Shoom. And just
Okay,
fall
hold on.
right down the mountain there. But no pressure.
I'm just going to rename this brush to Mountain Brush. So I know that's what it's for. Okay.
Pressure. Absolutely no.
Okay, so let's try and do this. So we're gonna take this, gonna bring this in like this. I go over it a bit more like this. And go back to bend a little. Got my happy little mountain blush. Okay.
Pressure.
It's not a brush.
There.
It wasn't a
You've
brush I
painted with
really
this
used
before.
anyway.
You've probably heard me talk about when I was teaching my son Steve to paint. I used to tell him just to pretend that he was a whisper that just floated right across the mountain. And that way he understood how delicate of a touch. So maybe that's a good analogy, good way to remember it. Just be a whisper that floats across
I
here.
can't do it like that.
Very
Fucking hell.
delicate. And by applying no pressure, it allows this paint to break. In other
Maybe
words,
the
it leaves all these
gravel
little
might be
holes
better
in
for
it.
this.
And that's what really makes it look neat. Makes it look like a mountain. And it's very simple. There. Now let's make us a shadow color for that. We'll use a little white. Oh, a little bit of the Prussian blue. Maybe just a touch more.
All right, let me just all right. I do have to kind of ad-lib it a bit because obviously there's only so much I can do with these pens. Will be a little bit more washed out than what he's got. But I think it looks all right. Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna add a little Van Dyke brown, maybe even a little black in there. What the heck? Even put a little crimson. Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a
I haven't
nice
even
color.
said that on stream. I don't really have much I can do with that at the moment, Nara. I'm just to go with what I got. So yeah, I got the news this morning. My divorce is final. I am officially and legally divorced. It is finally over. I have been waiting since November to get this all finalized. Freedom! Yeah.
Decide what color you want your shadows to be, and that's what they should be. Our little roll of paint. We can go right up in here, and now we can begin putting in the indication of all kinds of...
Okay, so it is kind of just like a bluey grey. I suppose I could add a bit of grain texture in here, maybe like large grain. Oh, that works! Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go redo this bit. Hold on. Thankfully, we can undo all of that. For the most part. I'm going to go off texture again just to kind of like smooth it out in places. And then blend a little bit. Okay, so we're going kind of this. I'm going to put it back onto canvas text. No, not canvas. Grain. Not happy with that colour. There we go, kind of like a...
The little shadows in there. I'm going to add just a touch more blue to my color, just so it shows up a little better and you can see it. There. There. Little touch in here. Every highlight needs its own individual shadow. If it doesn't have its own shadow, it just sort of lays there dead. It won't play with you. There.
I am learning so much.
Like that. And you can sort of play back and forth. Maybe you want to go back in here and just change the shape of this a little bit so it has a little more character to it. You can do that because on this piece of canvas you have total and complete power. You can literally do anything here. You have ultimate power on this piece of canvas. Shoot, when I go home, I don't have power over anything but the garbage. But here, this is my world. And I can do anything here. I can move mountains. Change the course of rivers. Anything that I want to do.
Cool.
Put a little shadow right underneath there.
I'm doing it.
Okay. Maybe here and there, a little something like that. I would take a clean, dry brush and just tap. I want to diffuse the base of this mountain so it looks like it's sort of laid.
Okay, hold on. I'm still doing detail. Get that going back in there as well. Eek! What do you think?
I think
What's that? Oh, for flip's sake. Okay.
message.
Oh. There you go. I have a friend who's also going for a divorce, and it's been over a year and still not finalized. Oh, that is a UK for you. All right.
Mist down here, but always follow the angles. Follow those angles. There, and then lift upward. Just enough to take out the tap marks and to blend everything together, like so. There, see there? That's all we need. Tell you what, sometimes it's a lot of fun. Let's do this. You begin seeing things here. I like to have a lot of depth in my painting.
Yeah, hold on. I just want to add, I can see you've added a bit more here that I haven't got around to. Gonna get that in there. Bit more here. And white, and then back to my blend brush. Okay, right, what we're doing next?
So we'll just put another little range of mountains right here. Just drop them.
Oh, we're going another range.
And watch how
Okay.
it pushes that first range back.
So I'm gonna go for like right around here. I'm gonna go for this mountain. We're going to take the texture out because we want to we just want to get the shapes in first.
That's simple. Just put them in. Same exact way as we did the others. Scrape off the excess paint, blend them out. There we go. Something about like that.
Let's get to blend. Oh. Mine are too low down, aren't they? They are. I'm gonna have to redo this. Boop, boop. Okay, let's try that again. So our positioning here needs to be more kind of here. I'm gonna go like this. Yeah, but layers would be cheating. I'm trying to do this as if I'm painting it. I definitely need this. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, layers would be a good idea for this section. Okay. We need to pull this down a lot more, I think. I've not pulled this down nearly as much as I need. Let's pull all of this down. I'm going to blend this all out. Right, and yeah. At least I can undo. At least I've got that option. I am going to go back over it with the texture as well. I'm going to go back down to mountain. We're going to put large grain texture on again. I'm going to just bring this texture bit. This is all about learning, picking up new techniques, and experimentation. Just feeling what works. I'm going to go back in with this blend really gently. Bring this all out. Okay, I'm happy with that now. I'm going to go in with this darkest texture. We're going to go back into mountains. We're going to take large grain off. I'm going to pop back. Okay, there we go. Now I can see roughly where his mountains start. More here. Up. Blob Ross is just so... Blob Ross? Is it Bob Ross, but it's a blobfish? Eh? Okay. I'm a bit happy with that. Okay, okay, we're starting to get some structure.
There we go. Something about like that. Back to our little highlight colors, the gray color. Same thing. Follow those angles. Gotta make.
All right, let's try and do that. I need to be on white, not black. Near white. Oh my god, look at that.
Make those little noises or it just didn't work. Maybe this one, yeah, it comes right down like that. See, we could pull it over here and blend it together. But notice the angles. Angles are very important. If light's coming through here, it's only going to strike at a given angle. So most of your highlights will be in the same basic angle, and most of your shadows will be in the same basic angle, depending on where your light's coming from. There. Something like so. Clean, dry brush, and once again, just tap this a little to create the illusion of mist.
Okay. Hold on, hold on. And add a little bit more extra bits in mine. This gray. That. I'm gonna take the grain off. I'm gonna put it right down. straight at. Missed, so to speak. All right, so
At the base. And lift upward. All right. Now, let's have some fun. Shoot. Tell you what, let's do. We'll just use that same old brush. I'm going to take a little of the white, a little bit of that mountain color, mix them together, and I'm just sort of pushing the brush. Get a little color on it. Maybe way back here in the background there's some little foothills. And the little foothills can be made just by doing something as simple as this, just tapping downward. Just tapping downward. There. That's all there is to it. Gently. Little 1/4-inch strokes. Very small. Lift upward. It'll make it look like little trees that live way back here in the distance. Far, far away. Pulling straight down. Straight down. It's most important.
okay, I need a different brush for this, I think. I do have a fir grass one to make it big enough. I don't think fine pointy is going to be right. Or maybe fine hollow might be better. Maybe slightly more dilution. All right, so what are you doing? You're doing big strokes.
And then gently coming across.
Okay, right. So I need coming down like this, maybe a little bit more. And I might go onto the brushes, the bushes one. Kind of muddy. And then let's just take the blur tool. A bit small. Okay.
Will make the indication of instant reflections. Sometimes it's fun to have several layers here, and you can do that just by doing it the same way. There, tap in some basic little...
Okay. I'm gonna go even darker. I think I need to decrease them. And then I've got leaf, soft grass. Maybe soft grass might work. On the edge. Then blur it out maybe a little bit. And kind of works. Just looks like a load of grass. Mine. But I guess that's fine.
Shapes, pop it up, make it look like little things far away. And then we'll put in another little reflection. As you come forward, each layer should get a little bit darker. A little bit darker. Shoot, I tell you what, let's have some real fun here. Maybe there's another one that comes way out, there. Something like that. Something about like that. Once again, we need our little reflection, so just give it a little downward pull. Go across. And wherever. I don't know. You sort of have to make up your mind. Each one of these, though, will create another plane in your painting and help that illusion of distance and depth. I'm going to take a little sap green, a little yellow, just tap the brushes.
Okay, hold on. This takes me a lot longer to do this. Mine's kind of still like vanishing here. Out. Going to blend here. Ugh. It's creating its own unique kind of feel. It really is. Mine's lower down than his, I'm realizing. Mine is overall feels a lot lower down. I could do this. I think that's more where it's meant to be, and then literally just go whoop. Yay, cheating! All right, let me fix this because this needs to go further down here. Why is it doing that color? I don't want that color. I want it more over here. Yeah, I know, but I realized it. I was like, that looks really low down. I don't want it that low down, and I can do what I want. It's digital.
So,
I have the.
As things get closer to us, we begin seeing a little color. So we can just, I'm using the same old dirty brush, just add a little yellow to it and some sap green. And we can just begin tapping in the indication of little colors that you can see. When things are far away from you, it's difficult to see color. Maybe just a hint of green back here. There we go. Take a little touch of the liquid white, put it on here, pull it out very flat, and I'm going to add a small amount of the bright red, very, very small amount. Cut across. Then we can go right up in here. And just act like you're trying to cut a hole right in the canvas. There. Take out really all your hostilities here. Just really get tough with it. Just back and forth like you're trying to saw a hole through there. This will create the illusion of a little water line. Also is a nice light area between the darks. It separates Makes everything really stand out and look good. Okay, maybe, let's have some fun. Clean off a spot to work here. Let's take some black. We'll use some Prussian blue, phthalo green, alizarin crimson. There we go. We just mix up a pile of color. All right, let me grab a old brush here. Maybe we'll just use a little fan brush. You could do this with a 1-inch brush, fan brush, whatever. Just use a little fan brush today. Load a lot of color into the bristles. And let's have in our world some happy little evergreen trees.
Oh, here we
Just
go. Okay. Right. Maybe here. Grass. Grass. Beef. I might do that to start off with. Okay. You rough round? How do I get that effect?
Corner of the brush, and as you work down the tree, push harder and harder.
Oh my god, how am I gonna do that on this? Maybe if I go back to my mountain bush. There's paper texture. Sandpaper. That's a large grain. I kind of feel like the large grain, but I need to have a different brush for this. Let's duplicate that, and we're going to end up calling this rust trees. We got flat, hollow, stringy, not stringy. I think I'm getting somewhere. I'm going to reduce the large grain. Want a fair bit of blending. Min size, want pressure, density size. Edge hardness maybe a little bit. Bit more. Nearly there. I think we're nearly there. Ooh. 3. I think I need to make the brush a bit smaller. Go a bit larger as I go down. Mine's a lot more full.
You're bending the bristles. Down here, oh, we're really getting tough. We're just bending it all the way down to the furrow. Get tough. Show it who's boss. These little evergreens live right in your fan brush. You just sort of at times have to really get forceful and push them out. There they go. Here comes another one. And you decide how many trees you want. You decide. Really, all we're trying to do here is show you a technique. We use no patterns or no tracings. It's strictly up to you, because you can learn to compose as you paint if you'll just practice. If you'll just practice a little. But if you like to use patterns, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. And you can trace your pattern on here, put liquid white over it, and the liquid white is still...
Oh God, he's so fast. My God. Hold on. I'm gonna just like bring like a bit of lightness into one. Blend that a bit.
Everybody get hydrated.
No. And I have to start. I still do this like little technique here at the start where I do it like that. And I need to get more into hand of like doing it like more like that. Then get bigger as I get further down. Small again. This. Yeah. It's looking awesome so far, thanks. All right.
transparent enough that you can see the tracing through it, if you like to
Hey,
do
Zuba,
that.
welcome in.
Personally, I enjoy the freedom that comes with not having a pattern, because you can...
Jesus. Okay. Go really small to do our first line. Slightly bigger. I really can't do the exact technique. But I can do kind of a mimic.
Literally, as I mentioned earlier, you can learn...
He has the benefit his brush is being the right shape. Yeah.
As you go. And you look at them, things, you'll begin to see things. And with practice, you'll be able to see more and more. After you've done a dozen paintings or so, you won't believe what you can do. Every day I get letters from fantastic people all over the United States and in several foreign countries. And they're sending us pictures of paintings that you wouldn't believe. And they've never had an art lesson. All they've done is they've watched the TV series and they've learned. And you can too. Okay, let's grab an old 1-inch brush. Maybe we'll have some bushes down here at the base of these trees. Just sort of push upward with the brush and make the indication of some happy little bushes that live right down here.
All right, hold on. I'm still doing one more tray. I'm gonna put it over here. I am learning something, yes. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use the bushes. Bushes isn't, it's just gonna smudge in it. There's gravel. That's not gonna work. I prefer grass. Maybe, but maybe I need to change the... There's dilution, should I turn it down? Let's see. Maybe it's the blending. Blending maybe. Slightly more persistent. But it's not getting that it's not getting this depth. It's trying to like blend very much with the background, and I kind of don't want that as much. Overturn blend off that. Let's try dilution. Oh. Density. No. Fine round. What if I change this? Fine round 2. That. Round. It's a bit further down than you are too. Yeah, well, I can move it into here. That might work. Okay. I think I've got a brush I'm happy with. What if we added grain on? Grain adds a little bit extra texture.
Watch here. Turn the brush over. We'll tap in a little color underneath. I know you're saying, Bob, you have really messed it up this time, but you watch. One of the most fantastic things about this whole technique is the fact that we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Happy little accidents! Yeah!
You learn to work with anything that happens. And it takes all the fear out of painting. There. We just tap some of that into there too.
Oh my god, he's all the way over here now. Okay, I'm going to start off with this light, just to get some of those light shades in there. I'm going to bring it down. It does take me longer with this brush. Go a bit bigger. Ren, welcome in. Ay, 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 ay. Alright, let's see what he's up to.
As you've probably figured out by now, this is going
Can you imagine trying to follow me along on live TV? I couldn't.
So we just take a 2-inch brush, grab, and pull straight down, very gently. Just pull it straight down over here.
Okay, we're going to use a blend tool for this.
And go across. And we have instant reflections. That easy. Now, I have several of each brush going, so I don't have to spend all my time just washing brushes. Dip the brush into a little liquid white. Be right back. Grab a little sap green, a little yellow. Let's go right up in here. And let's just put some little sparkles out here on these bushes. Look at their sun's playing through there.
Oh, we're going for the highlights. Okay, hold. Hello, Yamper!
HWP_Yamper has been a verified werebean for 8
Welcome
months.
in. Hope you're doing well. Mine is going to be... Oh, I'm not happy with that colour. I need to go more yellow, I think. Definitely more yellow. Yeah. Oh, actually, if I go much bigger and do really gentle pushes, it really blends it. Interesting.
Little ochre here and there, a little Indian yellow. Occasionally, at least a little touch of the
Yeah, okay, Taser,
And just vary your colors.
I am trying here.
Vary your colors.
I am trying here. Every time I start dappling away and then I look up and he's moved along. And go bigger. Blend. All right.
There we go. And work in layers.
Yeah, please don't stress me out. I am trying. I have to keep pausing. And go bigger. I have not done anything like this before, so you know. I'm doing my best, okay? You don't need to do back seating on this. Join along if you want. Join along if you want, but please don't point out my mistakes. That's not nice, Taser. Yeah, backseat painting. Sit down, Taser. Sit down.
All the bushes at once, and then there's no separation between them. No depth. Poor little bush just gets lost there. There. A little heavier in the yellow ochre. Just enough to change the flavor a little bit.
Like, what takes him, like, seconds takes me a lot longer to plan out. To say Puppy hasn't done this before and having to make up the corresponding bush types on the fly, this is looking amazing. Thank you, Nara. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Yeah, don't forget that I normally do like solid line art for all my art. So this is completely different to what I normally do.
But make it stand out as an individual. There we go. Now, on the other side, we'll do the same basic thing.
Okay, let's go back down to here. I see he's added in like the reflections. Oh yeah, I have totally missed that bit. Right, so what I'm gonna do. Like this. Get this gap filled in. Yeah, it's all about experimentation, you know, and you know, if I've missed sections, I can always catch up once he zooms out. Okay, let's go back to there we go. That's looking a bit better. Get this edge a little bit more defined on this side. All right, Taser, you can just, you don't have to keep going on. Okay. Oh. All right.
Sap green, cad yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre.
I could have definitely had some more like
Grab a little bit more of the green.
more of this sort of color in here. I'm just gonna kind of
Look at that. Did you ever think you could make all these gorgeous bushes that easy? You really can. Really and truly can. There. Okay, and maybe, tell you what, let's have some fun. Let's just reflect a little of that down into the water. I don't want
okay, maybe not.
a lot of reflection, but just a little.
I'll leave it
just
as
tap
is.
a little of that color right down into the water. On the other side, same thing. There. You can make some of the most beautiful reflections in this technique.
Hold on, let me zoom back out because he's suddenly gone onto this and I'm like, okay.
Green.
All right, we got this color. How far we got? We haven't got that much left to go. And pretty much I'll probably follow up with a game after this. To be honest. Then we can take a proper break.
Look at that. Did you ever think you could make all these gorgeous bushes that easy? You really can. Really and truly can. There. Okay, and maybe, tell you what, let's have some fun. Let's just reflect a little of that down into the water. I don't want a lot of reflection, but just a little. Just tap a little of that.
It'll take me longer than he does. Sounds good. Just don't want to get hyper focused and overwork yourself. Yeah. I'm doing my best. All right. Oh, a quiet word, right. Does it have to be right now?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Have I done something?
Put
Okay.
it this
Okay, right, okay. You don't need to talk to me about it, it's fine. That's fine.
That color right down into the water. On the other side, same thing. There. You can make some of the most beautiful reflections in this technique that you've ever seen. And when I was a traditional painter, reflections were one of those things that absolutely drove me crazy. And in this technique, it may be one of the easiest things that happens. Just come across. But when you pull this down, oh, so gentle. One hair and some air. That gentle, easy. Caress it very lightly.
I'm caressing it, I'm caressing it.
Now then, let's put a few little trunks in our trees. We'll
Oh
take
my
some
goodness.
white, a little dark sienna, mix them together. Tiny little roll of paint on the knife. We can go up in here, decide where your trunk lives in the tree. Just touch. Now we're not going to see the entire trunk. Because we're going to have some limbs that protrude out in the front of the trunk. So just here and there. And you can scratch in the indication. Makes it look like there's a lot of trees there instead of just a few. There we go. See? There. And you could just take and scrape right through the paint and make it look like little sticks and twigs and all kinds of little things that live back in the woods there. That's where all my little friends
That's
live.
too big
the
a
little rabbits and the
brush.
squirrels and all those little characters. If you've painted with me before, you
Maybe
know
the
I have a lot
mountain
of
tool
little
might be better for
animal
this one.
friends. A lot of times we show them on the program.
Okay. Not textured though. Take the grain off. I think I might still want a little bit of texture on it. Grain texture, but reduce it. That might be what I need.
I'll show you some before the series is over. I get a lot of letters in one of the earlier series. I showed a little squirrel that lived with me named Peapod the Pocket Squirrel. He's something else. And now he's an old squirrel. He's just about ready to turn loose. And we turn all of our animals back to the wild. We don't keep them. We don't try to make pets out of them. Okay, let's take a little sap green and a little yellow, make a dark green here.
Okay, I'm going to go back onto this.
Putting some highlights on some of these trees. As you work down the tree, allow it to get darker and darker and darker until it just fades.
Event with the cute otter backpack will be in 6 days. Ooh!
Remember that your light's coming.
Okay, so now I've got to try and do... This is going to be really hard. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to just blend this a little bit, really lightly. Can't get the same effect that you got. I'm going to go back in, then just a little bit.
Predominantly light in this painting. Your mountain tells you so right there. So a little more color on the right than on the left. We'll give that indication in your trees. There. But see, down in here, keep it very dark because you need a nice shadow area in there. It makes them look deep, very deep. There we go. A few over here. Something about like that. This old tree needs some. There we go. Just drop them right on. There. Darker, darker, darker down here toward the base.
If I do it kind of like this in like rings.
All this needs something to stand on so it doesn't fall over in the lake area. And well, it might be a river. Whatever you want it to be.
I think I might have just worked out the technique that's going to work for me. Kind of going in like this. Like little rings. I am learning. I'm going to just go over this. I want this one to be like it. Start putting these rings back in. Yes. And then I'm going to go back into blend. Some of this here, I don't want to be fully in. Out of focus there. Oh, I think I've got the technique. Oh my god, we really one sub away from that. Suddenly things starting to click. Suddenly things clicking. You can see I'm starting to get more the hang of it here as opposed to here. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever
Take some
tried
Van
this.
Dyke brown, and let's put some land under all this.
Oh,
Pull
okay.
sort of the angle that you think the land would flow. Remember that water always sets in a recessed area. So chances are that there's sort of an angle coming down like this. There we go. Chances are. That's not 100% true, but most of the time.
Hold on. I've got to get my pen right. Hold on. It'll take me a bit longer. And then go back to blend. Just touch this ever so. Okay. And then same on this side. Pull it. And top of blending. Like so.
A little brown and white.
I might want to do similar.
No
but like
pressure,
up
just like
here
putting
as
snow on the
well.
mountain. Just like
Like
putting
where
snow on the
this
mountain.
line is. Oh, he's moving on to the next bit. Hold on. Bring that in like that. Go back to blend and then that out. Okay, so back onto mountain. We want our large grain to be more prominent. And we're going to kind of a gray. Oh, I'm not happy with that. Come on. All right. I need to go back on his technique a little bit.
Sort of an angle coming down like this. There we go. Chances are. That's not 100% true, but most of the time. A little brown and white. Come right back in here. No pressure. It's just like putting snow on the mountain.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Want loads of grain. That is nearly impossible for me to do. Ooh, less on the middle. Okay, I think I've got something.
Just like putting snow on the mountain. There. The angles are very important here. Very important. You wouldn't want to bring these straight down. It'll look like cliffs hanging there. There we go. A little bit of our liquid white. That'll give us a little water line, clean the bottom up, sort of bring it all together. There we go. There. A little back in here. Maybe a little ripple here and there.
Okay, okay. Possibly leaf. Take. There we go. All right.
There and here. Wherever. Painting is a very individual thing. So when you're doing your painting, you change it any way that makes you feel good. Because we each see nature through different eyes.
Can you zoom in a little
And the
bit,
way
please?
I see it may not be the way necessarily.
Can you zoom in a bit, please?
I only want to show you
Bob.
a technique.
Bob.
A technique
Hello?
that makes painting very easy and that you can do. Anybody can do.
I need to see what you're doing.
I've absolutely never met anyone who could not paint. There.
All right,
Just
mate.
take the point of the knife and we'll cut a few little sticks and twigs.
Okay, right. I can sort of see what he's doing now. Kind of like this. Oh.
And things in here.
Right.
This also helps show different layers, shows depth in your painting. There, a few over this side. Something like that. Sometimes there's a little bush or two that grows down the edges. You can drop them in. Just sort of helps fill everything in. Shoot, I think we're about to the point where we can sign this one. Take a little paint thinner, a little bit of the bright red. Make the paint very thin, almost like ink. And let's go right up in here and we'll sign this one. I really hope you've enjoyed this painting. It's one that'll bring you a lot of pleasure because of all the colors. Makes you feel good in here. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless, my friend.
Hey! Thank you. All right. Like enhance, God damn it, enhance. All right, let me get my signature. I'm gonna put it in top corner, and we're gonna go screen or luminosity. So please, we do not need to do that. Thank you. There we go. Oh my goodness. That was fun. I feel like I learned a lot. Oh my god. Save as. I may as well just save it on my base side thing. I'm just gonna save it as Bob Ross. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy. That's my first ever attempt at following a Bob Ross video. It looks pretty cool. And doing it all digitally and trying to work out brushes on the fly. Yeah, that was fun. Let me get the Bob Ross thing. I can get rid of that now. We don't need it. I'm going to take a break and then I'll work out what the heck I'm going to be doing. Because I didn't know how long this was going to take. But as I got to like the 2 o'clock mark, I was like, I could just do this in one go, pretty much. Certainly a challenge, you know. It actually looks a lot better than some other attempts I've seen professionals do. Really? Wow. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm probably going to see if I can print that out.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my socials here and make sure to subscribe and click the bell for all future notifications. Bye.